And here we have the new buffet. This baby's gonna get the complete rundown. It's all scratched up on top. It looks like a cherry finish, probably a cherry veneer. We got some damage here, damage along the sides, damage on the bottom. Legs are pretty scuffed up. It's pretty banged up. It needs a full, complete sanding. But this is the before shots. We're gonna go with our shop vac attachment, and then we're gonna use the 100 grit, and then this sucks up all the dust. And remember, we want to work the edge, and then we work the middle. Now, for some of the sanding projects you'll do, you'll start to get this crusting of whatever old epoxy or polyurethane was on, and when this happens to your sanding pad, it's pretty much shot. And it, you can try to work it off, but it gets between the sandpaper and the wood. It makes the sanding process a lot slower. So if you don't have many sanding pads, go ahead and clean it off. But if you go ahead and buy, a mass, 100 sanding pads at a time, you could just. This is a very time-consuming process. So any way you can, expedite the process, go ahead and do it. Sanding pads, if you buy them on Amazon or whatever, you could get like a pack of 100 for like 15 bucks. So the top is sanded. Now what we could do is add the I'm gonna put the 320 on now after doing the 100 grit, and it's just gonna smooth it out. You just need to do a quick pass. Doesn't take very long. Next, I'm going to remove all these hardwares. I'm going to pop off this cabinet door. It all hinges on these. And these little dividers, they usually put this piece of felt in here. This is really old. These usually just pop right up, and then we can pull the felt out. And then I will sand the entire front. This is going to be a pain in the ass to sand. I'm going to have to come up with some sort of tool to fit on my sander to get between all those grooves. But we will cross that bridge when we come to it. Here it goes. Got some work done. All I gotta do is the drill, the shelf, the cap. But we are off to a great start. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna lay it down flat on this door or furniture dolly so we can access the legs easier. And it's just easy to spin on this dolly. It makes life so much easier. Also, I just wanted to say that these legs probably are not cherry like the rest of this. Has a cherry veneer and looks like it's built on maple or poplar. So I'm gonna take a wild guess that these legs are probably gonna be made out of maple or some other hardwood. It's gonna be more white in color after. All right, so as you can see, a regular sander is not going to get down in these grooves. So I just rolled up a sanding disc, and I'm going to try to. This is going to be a long, tedious job. I was also wondering if my oscillating tool might be able to do it, but I could probably fuck some shit up. Yeah, it's gonna have to be by hand. This isn't working. Okay, so I just used the orbital sander just to get the peaks. Now I'll just do the valleys by hand. And so it's gonna be long, but here we go. So I remembered I have a walnut shell blasting gun. Seems to be working out. We'll see you after it's done. If you ever come across something with little ridges like this, I recommend just painting it, unless you want to sit there for a few hours and sand each individual flute. Even though I did sand it, there's still some little areas that you can see that need more sanding, but I'm just gonna call it a day on this. It's just gonna have a little bit of an aged look, I guess. I'm gonna stain this natural. It's cherry, so it's going to come out looking a little more red than it is now. It's going to look like it is wet. So I'm going to put this door back on and flip this buffet back up. All right, here we go. Raw dog version of this buffet. Looks pretty nice. Just need some gold handles and a little coat of stain. Here we have the six handles for the buffet. Let's see if this. Sometimes these aren't real brass, and it might not come out right. You might have to paint them, but we're gonna try to polish it first. We're looking like we're gonna get some gold here, baby. Now you don't want to go too hard on it, because you could go through the plate gold. Definitely an upgrade. Alright, so here we are. I got this these staining pads, my gloves. Use one of these guys. And I'm going to use the minwax natural. It's almost like a clear, but it's going to make this cherry a little bit darker. So here we go. maple legs just to make them so they're not so white. Put a little bit of dark walnut on this strip here too, mixed with the natural as well as this bottom piece. Once this dries though, I think it's going to look pretty nice. I'm going to put the hardware on it. I think it's looking pretty fucking good. Those gold handles really make it pop. We're just gonna have to do a clear coat. But I think this thing came out pretty sweet. Especially this corrugated fucking cabinet door. That sucked. Classic black stain on the edge of this cupboard door. And I did the legs in classic black. And I did it originally in dark walnut. But it was kind of coming through like greenish color, so I figured black and red, and the black line breaks it up a little bit. I think it looks great. I'm gonna let it dry so I can throw a clear coat on it. And it's almost done. Just need the clear coat. I already clear coated this part. I'm just gonna give it another coat on the top. Better. And that's it. That's like the third coat. So now we move on to staging. Lifesavers.
No, that thing out of the way.
Of course, gazelle thing.
Oh. Kitchen stuff.
That's all she wrote for this one, from beginning to end, restoring some mid-century modern stuff.